Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Imaginary Ends, which is an expansion for Doomlings. And in this one, you're going to get magical merchants. So this is going to be an additional layer to the game there that's going to give an extra strategy to the game. And like a lot of the expansions for Doomlings, this one's also going to have 3 different theme decks in there, and one deck that can work with all of those 3. So let's go ahead down the table here. I'm going to show you what comes with this, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Doomling Imaginary Ends, and what this is going to be is this is going to be a major expansion for Doomlings. Now, all these expansions are pretty major for Doomlings. They add a lot of stuff to it. One of the ones we previously went over, which was Legends of Enduras, is the same idea. You're going to have 3 different sets here, and then a set that combines all 3. Lets you use all 3 in there. And then you're going to have this cool new mechanic that adds a different layer to the game. Now, each one of these is going to be just different mechanics that get added to the game. And it's going to be business as usual. You're going to survive through 3 ages, try to survive the last catastrophe or the world's end, and have the most points at the end of the game. That's not going to change. What's going to change is what these cards can do and what synergies you can create. So this one's going to have Deeplings, it's going to have Glitterlings, it's going to have Moonlings. It's Fuzzlings are going to combine these 3. And then we have Magical Merchants, which is the extra layer to the game. So that's going to be something extra you're going to do to add more strategy to the game. So we have Deeplings here, and you can pause this video at any time to read any of these cards here, but you get a good set of cards here, and like it says on the outside, you're going to get 16 traits, 2 dominance, 2 ages, and 1 catastrophe. And here's one of the dominant genes here, or traits, sorry. You're going to have Ethereal. Until World's End, if you held 6 or fewer cards at the end of your turn, you may suppress 1 from your hand instead of stabilizing. So that's pretty cool. And also, we have a dominant here, and that's going to be worth 10. At World's End, choose a color. Suppress all traits of that color in your trait pile. -2 for each color in your trait pile. Now, I did put these back together, so if they're a little out of order, that's my fault. But you're going to have a lot of different ones in this one here. And this set, as you can see, all have a different theme to it. This one's going to be a lot about suppressing traits. So notice here you have a lot of cards that have to do with suppressing. So that's going to be basically the theme for this guy here. And this is going to be the foil version of this card. You get a foil version with each of these expansions, and this was Baffling was the one. And then Baffling here is a suppress 1 trait in your trait pile, then you move Baffling to an opponent's trait pile, and it's worth -2. We have a -3 one here, Enigma, Hidden, Monstrosity, Decaying Ooze, which is a -4. We have Undulating, and we have Untold. So we have a lot to do with suppression and a lot of negative cards in this one. And then here's our 2 age ones. We have Age of Solitude, suppress 1 card from your hand. We have Fading Away. After playing a trait and resolving its effects, suppress it. And then we have our Catastrophe that comes with this one. We have Abyss Stares Back, -1 to Gene Pool, as most of them do. Suppress all cards from your hand, and then Stabilize. World's End, -5 if you have 12 or more traits in your trait pile. And that is Deeplings. All right, so we have Glitterings here. Like the catastrophes threatening their blissful, ignorant land, Glitterings are so random we can't even. So here we go. We have Bubbly. At the World's End, draw 1 and reveal it. If it's blue or colorless, discard 1 trait from your trait pile. We have Rainbow Magic. We have Awesome. We have Elegance, Imaginative, Feisty, Magic Beans, Merry, +1 for every dominant in all of your friends' trait piles. Scrappy, Pink, all of your friends draw 1 card. So these are very random. Toasty, Whimsical, Bedazzled, Ephemeral, Polka Dots, Dipped, Wishful, Sprinkles, and then, okay, we have Too Much Pink. That is 100% true. catastrophe. Negative, just kidding. -1 gene pool, as they do. Discard your hand, draw 4 at the start of your turn. World's End, reveal the top card of the trait deck, +1 for each trait of that color in your trait pile. We also have Sunshine and Tea Parties. Draw 1 and reveal it for to all your friends. We have Glitter Storm. Discard 1, 2, or 3 cards from your hand at random, then stabilize. All right, we have Moonlings. Moonlings, life doesn't always make sense to Doomlings. Moonlings are aliens chattering away in their strange tongue. While it looks like nonsense to us, we're mostly certain it makes sense to them, mostly. All right, we have Earth. -3 to gene pool. That's pretty bad. You may discard Earth from your trait pile at the start of your turn, then draw 3 cards. That's good. Whatever that is. That one's -3. We have give an opponent 1 card from your hand, then play another trait. We have Whoople, Turkendirt. I'm not even try these names. And you can pause the video if you want to read any of these. But these are a little bit more chaos. And that plus Glitterlings, you're going to have a pretty chaotic setup there. So that'll be a very, leads to a lot of stand-up moments in the game where you like get the card out and you're like, ah. But it's cool. All right, so Moonlings. If your gene pool is 4 or higher, discard 1 card. If your gene pool is 3 or lower, draw 2 cards. We have Moon Apocalypse. This is -2 to gene pool. This is a little higher than normal. This catastrophe cannot reduce the gene pool lower than 4, so that's good. World's End, -5 if your gene pool is 4 or higher. We have a Quiet Moment. Discard up to 3 cards from your hand. If you start your turn with an empty hand, draw 4 cards. So that's Moonlings. And then we have Fuzzlings. And basically what Fuzzlings are is they have the different symbols for these 3 different ones. And they sort of combine them. So if you want to play with all 3 of these are the cards you also want to put in. And you can pause the video at any time if you want to read some of these. But you can see the symbols that they work with on the right here. And we'll just read one of them. We have Slithy, +5 if you have a Moonling or Deepling with a suppressed card underneath. And then we have Glamorous, Eccentric. And then we have our 2 ages and Catastrophe here. We have suppress 1 random card from your hand, then pass to the left. And that's Age of Reverie. We have Unusual Friends. If you play Deeplings, Moonlings, or Glitterlings, draw 2 cards. We have Isolation, -1 to gene pool. If you hold 3 or fewer cards, suppress 1 randomly in your hand and stabilize. World's End, if you have 3 or fewer cards in and the face value of 1 card in your hand to your final score. All right, so that's going to be Fuzzlings. Now, this doesn't have to actually be used with these. It can be used separately. It can be used with Doomlings in general or whatnot. But basically what we're going to have in here is we're going to have some treasures here. So this is Magical Merchants. At the start of the game, set up as normal, but now each of the 3 ages stacks should have at least 1 basic age, 1 catastrophe, and 2 merchant ages, which we're going to show you the merchant ages in there. We're going to shuffle the trinkets and place them face down to create a trinket deck. After trinkets are dealt, each player gains 2 trinkets and keeps 1 of them and trashes the other. And at the age, each age, you're going to draw another one of these trinket cards. So you can, if you've completed your previous one. So the way that this one works is you have all these different trinkets here. Now these trinkets have an awesome power, and these are lies. These are what they sold you on. So, but they're really not great. They sort of swindled you. But they are really good if you can complete them. And this is what you have to do to pocket them. And this is going to be the value it's going to be worth in the end. So ones are super easy. I think I put these in order. If not, I'm sorry. We have Collector's Cap here. If you play a red card, you may draw 1 card. Okay, not too bad. You need to reveal a purple card in your hand, and you can pocket this by flipping it over and gaining a point. Now at the end of the age there, you're going to be able to, or at the beginning of an age here, you get to draw another card if you have completed your trinkets from previously. So we have a whole bunch here, and like I said, you can pause the video at any time, but we're going to go, and I'm going to read off one of the 2s here, and you can see how they ramp up a little bit. So here's the 2s. So 2 here, and these are all different, they just depend on what they are, but this one here, start of turn, discard dominance from your hand, so you can't have dominance. And then to be able to pocket this, you're going to have to reveal 2 red cards. So this, when you get these, they go face up in front of you. They don't go in your hand, to keep in mind. So this is a fact that's going to happen all the time. Like here, you can't play blue, and then to get rid of this, you have to reveal 1 colorless card, but you'll get 2 points at the end of the game with this one. So we're going to show some of these, and then I'm going to show you a 3-pointer where it gets even more harder to deal with, but worth more points at the end, for the end of the game. All right, so here we have Glass Hammer. Cannot play traits with actions. That's pretty bad. Hand discard 1 red or green so that you can get this one out. And then you'll get 3 points at the end of the game for each of these. So you can rack up a lot of points. And once you pocket these, they're yours. So nothing in the game is going to be able to get rid of these. Now 4s are going to be even harder. And we have some 5s in a second here. But when you stabilize to 4, period. So if you can gene pool to 6, it doesn't do any good with this one. To draw 2 on your turn. And you can get rid of this if you're able to do that. Hand discard 1 dominant. Cannot play dominance, but you'll get 4 cards at the end of the game, or 4 points at the end of the game if you can pocket this. And then we have 5s, which are really hard. Cannot play colorless, period, for this one. Reveal 4 different colors in your hand, and you can pocket this and get 5 points. So you can see these 5s are really hard. Then we also have these these are going to be merchant ages. So we have like Toodles here. You can buy, gain 1 trinket, then trash 1 trinket. Now the advantage of these ones is if you have a trinket you really can't deal with, this is your out. This is how to get rid of it and get a different one. This one here, gain 1 trinket, then trash 1 trinket. That's Toodles still, sorry, Toodles. We also have Fowler. You may trash 1 trinket, then gain 1. You have Exchange. You may trash 1 trinket and then gain 1. Here you can trash 1 trinket and then gain 1 for Fowler. So I read that 4 times, but basically the big difference is this one you get the trinket first, then trash. This one you have to trash, then gain. So this Toodles is a little better than Fowler. Then we also have Huck. Huck, pocket 1 trinket, then gain 1. So this one's really cool. You could just complete the trinket. You don't need to actually do the thing for it. So that can save you a good bit of pain. And then we have Baon here. And what he does is he trashes 1 trinket, then gain 1 trinket. You may repeat this. So if you don't like it the first time, you can try it a second time, but this is still blind. So that's it. That's going to be Magical Merchants, and that's going to be how it adds to the game there. Let's go ahead up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Doomlings Imaginary Ends. So that was Imaginary Ends, and the component quality for this is going to be phenomenal. The card quality is great, which is all that really matters for a pure card game. And the backs are the same color as the base game, so you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the base game and this, which is good. Overall, you're going to get 3 really cool decks there that add a new variety to the game. Really great. And you'll have one that you can use if you do put all 3 together. Now, these decks here, if you play Doomlings a lot, you're going to really probably view this as an essential expansion, and I would agree. This is going to be something that adds more to the game, adds more variety to the game, but doesn't add any more complexity and doesn't add anything to the rule teach. You can just place them in and go and have that new experience of all these different mechanics sort of like intermeshing and being able maybe to make you synergize a little differently in the game. Now then we have this extra layer that you get, and that's going to be the Magical Merchants. And if you add the Magical Merchants in, there's a little bit of a setup difference, which isn't a big thing. It's pretty easy to work in. And the big thing is that with this, that expansion doesn't have to be necessarily used with this game. You can use it without the extra decks in here. You can use it with other ones. You can use it in combination of stuff. It's just something that you could use. The trinkets themselves are an interesting flair. they can be pretty restrictive, and people can paint themselves into a corner a little bit. Now, some of the Doomling expansions, I really say you don't really need to have played the game before to really use. This one, I don't think you'd 100% have to play the game before you use Magical Merchants, but I would probably suggest you at least play through a game before you add these in, so people can understand better how to get that pocket effect fired, so they can pocket the trinket faster, because some of these can be pretty hurtful if they're not mitigated properly. So that's where I'm saying, like, you can probably get the most enjoyment out of this if you've played Doomlings before. This would definitely be an expansion that a group who's played Doomlings a lot would probably enjoy, pretty much as a set that you put in most games. So I think that the fact that this actually adds a layer on there that makes you think, you have more just of the good stuff, so you don't have to learn anymore for the other things, and you can just put them in or put them out, or however you want to do it. This is going to be another one that's going to be, if you play Doomlings a lot, an essential expansion, and really solid. And that's my thoughts on this. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us get more content out to you all and all that fun stuff. But either way, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.